Malaysian is not race or religion. Maria Mokhtar recently called for the removal of race and religions maker from Malaysian identity cards or my cards in order to force national unity. He called it nothing new as some people believe it is the difference in race and religions that divide us and cause racial and religious tensions. Back in 1947, the Perlembagaan Rakyat People Constitutions proposed by the left-wing Putra AMC-JA, Pusat Tenaga Rakyat and All Malay Council of Joint Action state that all citizens of Malay were to be identified as Melayu. Several decades later, the Bangsa Malay concept was proposed by Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who was Prime Minister at the time. Under this concept, Malaysians would identify with Malaysian, speak Malay, and accept the federal constitutions.
So I decided that we will not accept ICERD. We are not perfect people, although most of us are angels, but even angels sometimes make mistakes. So when angels make mistake, they turn around.
Berkawan dengan semua orang, tapi benda yang dah termaktub tu kalau boleh janganlah kita nak ganggu ke apa ke.
I'm not fearful of the pro-Malay or pro-Islam thing because I can see that there are more Malay that is more open-minded nowadays, and then they are going for more democratic society.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. I'm Nushara binti Azhar. Islam and all. It is disconcerting that Islam is being tarnished by incidents that smack of ignorance. The true spirit of Islam is being discredited by ostentations, ritual, and punitive actions. Covets a place in the practice and preaching of Islam, creating confusions and misunderstanding among Muslims. However, God present is not confined to these physical structures, but permeates every aspect of life, and mosque is not merely a place of worship, but a place of learning and interactions among the ummah. Muslims also allow people from other religions and engage in social and intellectual discussions. Islam does not discriminate against believers of other religions. These religions is justice and tolerance as exemplified by the verses in Quran and the life of Prophet Muhammad. But incidents involving Muslim and non-Muslim indicate intolerance among Muslims with regard to people of other faiths.
This is a church, and there's an iftar here with Christians, Jews, Muslims and others, and it's a great way to celebrate the opening of the fast, but for each other to know about the religion of Islam as well.
There have been a lot of iftar interfaith events like this in the past several years. How do you see the progress so far in bridging different communities in London?
Well, London is the most diverse city in the world. There are more than 300 languages spoken in our city, many different faiths, Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, those who aren't a member of an organised faith. What's really important is that we interact better. We get to know each other far better. And the phrase that I've got is social integration. And what's really important is that we bust the myths and we make sure others learn the true Islam, because unfortunately at this time there are a small number of people who do criminal acts and use the name of Islam to justify their acts of terrorism. And we've got to remind people that's not what Islam is.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am Norusna Afika binti Ismail. Non-Muslim kids forced to eat in changing room. A Malaysian parents upload a picture of school kid having meal inside changing room next to a toilet at Sekolah Kebangsaan Seri Pristana Sungai Buloh on the July 22. The photo which stirred up a controversy because changing room smelled and there was a toilet next door. The picture have many suggestions from parents that non-Muslim kids were told to eat in the makeshift canteen during Ramadan, so as not to offend Muslim kind who fast. Let me take this clear. This is not about religion or race, said Deputy Education Minister P. Kamalathan as her told reporter that the controversy was over. But it is far from over. Parents received conflicting explanation from Sekolah Kebangsaan Pristana Sungai Buloh. It is the latest issue that emerged one after during the fasting month.
The way that this gets solved is by changing our ideas. We have to recognize what is actually the case, which is fundamentally the racial, economic, socioeconomic differences amongst us are relatively minor and don't place us into different categories of things. What we are is fundamentally humans.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. I am Noamira binti Mahdi. Religious freedom is under attack around the world. Religious freedom is under attack in numerous places around the world, but it's especially bad in 17 countries, according to a report issued by the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, USCIRF. 9 of these countries have already been singled out by the State Department as Country of Concern, CPC. Burma, China, Iran, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Turkey and Uzbekistan. Another 10 countries were listed by USCIRF as Tier 2 countries where violations are serious but not bad as in CPC countries: Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Cuba, India, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Laos, Malaysia, Russia and Turkey. Although these countries of particular concern all have serious violation of religious freedom, their cause varied. Likewise, in India, Hindu nationalists are telling like Muslim to go to Pakistan and Christian go to Europe if they are willing to become Hindus. For them, Indian and Hindu are
It is going to be bleak for Christians and for anybody who believes in anything that is different from VHP. I don't think it is the majority Hindu that are against Christians or against any other religion. It's a small group of fundamentalists, and I think they are the minority, not the Christians, not the good meaning Hindus by and large.